some color on the conversations that you're having here at Milken? I mean, there was some newsy flows out of Indonesia recently with the protests and everything. Are you hearing a lot of concerns, and what are you telling them?
First of all, it's very fresh. Came out of the Indonesia roundtable just now. One of the first questions was actually that. So that is basically a big comment that economic growth has to be in line with also people's belief of equality, right? So it is a wake-up call for Indonesia, and the president, being the leader of the government, took initiative to also reform the cabinet because of this. So Indonesia has been blessed in the last 30 years to grow for about 5% a year. The president currently has this project of trying to bring it up to 8%. But now it is becoming clear that the young people also want growth, but also want equality. Because if you do a quick survey, and we do this in Kadin, the three things that is very important for the young generation, and you remember that 40% of Indonesians are below 30 years old. So this is very important. One is about entrepreneurship, number two, employment, and number three is actually about the equality, and number four is being the environment. So those are a good wake-up call for all of us. We take that very seriously. And at Kadin, Chambers of Commerce and Industry, all the more being the umbrella of the businesses in Indonesia, not only the private, the big ones, but also state-owned enterprises, small, medium enterprises and cooperatives. We want to make sure that any plan from the government, it is also participated by businesses, whether they are big and small, that will bring in entrepreneurship as well as employment.
So you have the ears and eyes of President Prabowo. What are you telling him, specifically how to reset and rejuvenate the industries right now to actually satisfy those concerns, entrepreneurship and employment equality? Specifically, how do you get that done?
Yeah. First of all, coming back, Kadin, or Chambers of Commerce and Industry, the focus is two things, trade and investment, right? In terms of investment, so far, Indonesia has been getting decent amount of investments, about $52 billion FDI last year. I think this year is going to actually grow. So that is okay. And especially with the Sovereign Wealth Fund, Danantara, we also have the capacity to invest in the country, primarily for a lot of the downstreaming projects, for example, a lot of the big initiatives, but also overseas. So what is more important, the way we see it, is to make sure the participation of the private sector is not only from the state-owned enterprises, but and big corporations, but also by small, medium enterprises. So now, let me give you a couple of examples. There are 2 or 3 programs by the government, such as free nutritious meal to 80 million people. Now, students and lactating mothers. This can be a good way to involve a lot of the small medium enterprises, because you need 80 million eggs, 80 million drumsticks, and so on and so forth. Or number 2, the initiative to build 80,000 cooperatives across the country to make sure that the cooperatives can be the backbone of the country. That's where Kadin can also participate in upskilling the professionals and the cooperatives. Or number 3, the 3 million low-income housing on the back of backlog of about 20 million. This is where a lot of our members can participate. So as you see, Cherry, it is not about the big investment coming to the country. I think the industrialization will happen, but it is how to make sure that we do that with big impact to the society as well.